And with our first question, we'll go to Alex Kennedy. Alex?
Hey, RJ. Just wanted to ask you, this is such a unique year. Everything is virtual, obviously. What's it been like, adjusting to that? And what are some of the challenges that, have been presented because of everything being virtual?
I think, with everything being virtual, it's definitely been, a different year, to say the least. But, just keeping your mind sharp, knowing that, this too shall pass. So I think, with the virtual, the draft and the pre-combine stuff, you just got to stay locked in, honestly.
And then real quick, just with how hard you've worked and the confidence you have in yourself and everything, how do you respond when people refer to this as a weaker draft class or criticize this class?
I really don't even look into that much. I think, with the guys that I know for sure in this draft, that this is not a weak draft class. I think, everybody in this draft class is very talented. So, we'll just have to wait and see.
Thanks, RJ. Good luck.
Well, thank you.
Okay, the next question, we'll go to Brian Lewis.
Hey, first off, thanks for doing this. I'm curious, I've seen you linked with the Nets in a ton of mocks. Two-part question. I'm curious, one, are you scheduled to speak with them or have you already spoken with them? And secondly, being New Zealand, do they still talk about Sean Marks down there and his influence?
For the first part of the question, I haven't spoken to the Nets yet. I don't know if I'm scheduled to. I wouldn't, doubt, seeing them on, one of my next interviews. And then in New Zealand, I've definitely heard Sean Marks' name a bunch of times in New Zealand.
Great. Our next question, we'll go to Jason Jones.
Hey, RJ.
Hey, how you doing?
All right. Just quickly, I want to know, have you met with the Sacramento Kings at all at this point?
Yes, I've interviewed with Sacramento.
And just how did that go? And what did they want to see about you and how you might fit with them?
It was really kind of a kind of introductory Zoom call. Just not really much basketball, just kind of getting to know me.
Mm-hmm. And was that with the new GM or just the other staff?
This is before then.
Oh, okay. And just the one last quickly, just how do you see yourself fitting in a situation where you could be playing with a young point guard, like a De'Aaron Fox type, and maybe some younger guys around you in the backcourt? Just how do you think you'd be able to acclimate yourself in that situation?
I think honestly, I feel like playing with De'Aaron and playing with other young guys, it kind of goes to my strengths. He's a fast-paced point guard that can get downhill and score at will, and I think me and him will complement each other really well.
Great. For our next question, we'll go to Callie Kaplan.
Hey, RJ. Curious, I know you just mentioned how this has been such a piecemeal, unprecedented process, but how and where has training been going, and what's that been like for you as the draft has kind of progressively moved back a bit?
I've been, training a lot at home in Dallas, and then I come to Memphis, every other week and, training with, Mike Miller and Penny, sometimes at the University of Memphis, and then other times at just, high schools.
And to follow up on that too, aside from Sacramento, what other teams have you talked with so far, and have the Mavs been included in that?
No, the Mavs haven't been included, but I think it's been a while. So I think it's been like, Oklahoma City, Detroit, Phoenix, Portland, New York. I think that's kind of all of them. Maybe, I'm not sure. Chicago.
And one last question too is, how much did you watch the Mavs growing up and follow them from Little Elm?
I watched the Mavs, my whole life. So kind of the hometown team. So I've definitely kept up with the Mavs since I was a baby.
Awesome. Thanks.
No problem.
With our next question, we'll go to Alder Tiamo.
Hi, RJ.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, thanks for doing this. RJ, since you've mentioned that you've already interviewed with the Knicks, what's your takeaway from that interview, and how do you view them as an organization with all the changes that has been going on?
I think the change that they made are great. I think Coach Tibbs is a great coach. The interview went really well. It's hard to play in New York City with the bright lights. So, that was kind of some of the focus with New York. But, I definitely think that they're a great organization. And, I think they will be, back where they should be soon.
Did this happen before the lottery or after the lottery?
I think it was either right before or right after, one of the two.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Our next question will go to Pico Nexion.
Hey, RJ, hope you're doing well right now, you and your family.
Thank you.
You mentioned you've been working with Mike Miller, specifically on your jump shot. Of course, he was a great three-point shooter. What kind of things have you guys worked on during your time together, whether it be your footwork or even your shot mechanics?
I think, honestly, we worked from everything from my head down to my toes. So learning how to get a better base, getting my shot up higher, ball placement, slowing my shot down, simplifying it. So, he's one of the best shooters ever, like you said. So it's nothing better than to, learn from him.
You've also had some time working with Penny Hardaway as well. Both of you guys are pretty big guards for your position. Are there parts of his game that you kind of have tried to emulate or he has kind of passed on to you?
For sure. I think every time we work out together, he's trying to, give me tips that, he did while he was playing in the NBA. So I definitely take those, use those, and, I will continue to use them.
Thanks, RJ. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you. For the next question, let's go to Ferdinand.
Hey, RJ from Puerto Rico. How overseas experience helped you?
I think the overseas experience helped me a lot, playing against grown men, being on a professional team. I think, that's enough in itself. And I feel like, definitely with my basketball play, learning how to be a pro and, learning some things that I think I wouldn't have learned in college.
What do you think about a potential fit with the Pelicans?
I think, the Pelicans are a great team with a great coaching staff. I know, you have Zion, Brandon Ingram, who's great, Lonzo. So those are all guys that are, very unselfish and, young guys who are willing to win. So that's me. And, I think, that would be great.
Thank you.
Thanks. All right, for our next question, let's go to Josh Robbins.
RJ, thank you very much for doing this. We appreciate
it. Thank you so much.
For those of us who aren't very familiar with your game, would you please describe some of the qualities and attributes you bring to the table?
Yes, I definitely think, I bring that fast-paced, energizer guard. I think I can attack down the hill, get my teammates involved and, kind of just be a pest on defense and, kind of just do the little things. And, with working with Mike Miller, being able now to, knock down the open three, the open shots.
And for those of us who aren't too familiar with how you got to this point, who are some of the people who have helped you get here?
Yes, I definitely think, my family, of course, my dad, my high school coach, Rusty Segler, those are kind of, the biggest people that have helped me get to this point.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks. For our next question, let's go to Alan Gilio.
Hi, RJ.
Hello.
I just wanted to know you play both the one and the two position in New Zealand, both on ball and off ball. The flexibility of your game is, I think, a major strength. How would you describe the change between having the ball and not the ball on offense for you?
I think that just comes with confidence. I feel like, I can play, the two guard position and the one, at a high level. I feel like, definitely just being comfortable with having the ball in your hands is a great skill to have. But then also the ball's always not going to be in your hands. So definitely, learning how to be, a real two guard and a real point guard.
Yeah, you run some pick and roll, but you also had for me one of the best bursts in the draft, I think. How do you think you can improve those stuff that you will help for sure on offense for you in the NBA?
I think a lot of the NBA is, half court offense. So, definitely, getting my IQ sharper on pick and rolls, knowing all my reads. And, that's why, I'm working out with, Penny Hardaway because, he was the best at that, I think. And, that's just only going to help me a lot more.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Great. And from our next question, let's go to Rob Schaefer.
Hey, RJ. Thanks for doing this.
No problem.
You listed the Bulls as one team that you've talked to in the pre-draft process. I'm wondering if you remember when you had kind of been in contact with them, who you spoke to, and kind of what your impressions were of the organization.
I think I spoke to the Bulls. I think it was kind of early when, teams could start doing Zoom calls. So this was probably earlier in the summer. And I think almost, everyone was on the call but the head coach at the time. And, my impressions of them were, they were a young team with young talent and looking for another piece to, want to win. And I think, that's a great attitude to have, definitely.
Have you thought about kind of what a fit between you and the Bulls would look like given the way that their team is kind of constructed right now?
For sure. I think the Bulls have great young players. I get a lot of comparisons sometimes to Zach LaVine. So that's definitely a player that I've looked up to, while he's been in the NBA. So definitely feeding off him and, another great scorer in Kobe. And then, you have, Wendell and then, Laurie. So those are two dominant, forwards that can definitely make some noise.
All right. Appreciate your time. Best of luck with everything.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you. Next question. Let's go to Kai Carlin.
Hey, what's going on, RJ? Again, thanks for doing this, man.
No problem.
I know you said you haven't talked to them yet, but the 76ers are a team that I don't know if you pay attention to any mock drafts, but you've been mocked to them a couple times. How do you really see a fit there? You and Ben Simmons are two long, lanky, fast, athletic guards. How do you kind of see that working out, like if you were to end up in Philadelphia?
I think that would work out great. Like you said, Ben Simmons is a long, lanky guard. And I feel like, I'm kind of the same. I think, well, he's, quite taller than me, but at the same time, though, I feel like it would be a nightmare for, especially offensive players going against, two guards, on defense and with Matisse too, being a great defender in him. So I think that's definitely would be, a great 3-guard setup.
Thank you, RJ.
Thank you.
Great. And for our next question, let's go to Chase Hughes.
Hey, RJ, appreciate you doing this. First of all, have you talked to the Wizards or are you scheduled to?
I have talked to the Wizards. I left that out, but yes, I have talked to the Wizards.
Okay, and I'm sure enough time has passed for your hip injury to be healed by now. But how is it feeling, and what are you kind of telling teams or doing to kind of prove to them that it is 100%?
My hip's been healed for, quite some time, some 7-8 months. And, I think, just working out, teams have seen my workout videos, maybe people on the internet have seen my workout videos, and I'm, just athletic as ever and just as fast as ever. So I feel like I've done a good job showing teams that, I'm not injured anymore.
Great. Thank you. For our next question, let's go to Julian Malplat.
Yeah. Hi, RJ. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Great. Thank you. So I wanted to talk with you about you're in a draft class with a lot of guards. So do you think that your professional experience in New Zealand could help you to be selected over another one? And if it's not, which strength in your game do you think could help you being selected?
I definitely think that going overseas and being professional for a year and playing against grown men, definitely gives me a little bit of an edge over, some college players. But I think, my strengths are, I feel like, I'm one of the, if not the fastest guard in the draft, the most athletic guard in the draft, that can, do a lot of different things.
All right. And you said you have talked with the Phoenix Suns. So would you like to win some experience with Ricky Rubio, Devin Booker, and this young team?
That would definitely be great. Ricky Rubio, I've been watching his game for a very long time. He's as pure as point guards that they come. And, Devin Booker, one of the league's best prolific scorers. So definitely, partnering with them in the backcourt with, my athletic ability, it would definitely be something to see.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. We have time for a few more questions. Let's go to Rylan Stiles.
Hey, RJ, I was wondering how your interview with the Thunder went and how you would see yourself fitting in there.
My interview with Thunder went great. I was interviewed by, I think, everyone on the staff, and Billy Donovan, Coach Billy Donovan was the coach at the time. But I feel like I would fit great. The Thunder, they run that 3-guard system. Shea is a great young guard that I kind of take bits and pieces from his game and put into mine. And then Chris Paul is definitely as if you can call it, one of the best point guards of all time. So. Those two people right there, I kind of, mix between their games, and I would definitely like that.
And then you played the Thunder in the preseason this year. Did that experience, how did that help you at all?
It helped me a lot, being 18, playing against an NBA team. A lot of 18-year-olds don't get that opportunity. So it was definitely a learning experience. And, it's been, I think, almost over a full year since that happened. So, I think I've grown so much since then.
Thank you, RJ.
Thank you.
Thanks. And next question, let's go to Josh Robbins.
RJ, I'm curious, what were the most difficult adjustments of living so far away from home on the other side of the globe, really?
I think the most difficult thing was probably just not being around friends probably for the first time in my life. So I graduated high school a year early, so all my friends were still at school and doing prom and going to different kind of events, and I was halfway across the world playing basketball, so it was a little challenging at first, but I got through it.
Have you had any discussions with the Orlando Magic?
I haven't talked to the Orlando Magic yet.
All right, thank you for everything.
Thank you.
Okay, we have time for about 2 more questions. Let's go to Callie Kaplan.
Hey, RJ, I wanted to follow up here. You mentioned obviously following the Mavs since you were a little kid. What memories do you have of growing up around Dallas and watching those teams play?
There's great memories, especially, that championship that, the Mavs got, just watching Dirk, J. Kidd, being at the games when I was a little boy. I think I met Kobe my first time at a Mavs game. So I have so many memories from, being a Mavs fan growing up.
And since you've kind of risen through the basketball ranks, have you had any sort of personal interactions with either players on the team or coaches or people within the organization?
I'm really good friends with, Coach Melvin Hunt, who's with the Mavs. I'm really good friends with his son. I've had interactions with, a bunch of Mavs players over the years, a lot of them. So just, knowing them and, being able to have that relationship with all of them has been good for me.
And have you let yourself kind of think about what it might be like to possibly have the chance to play alongside Luka, Kristaps, and kind of that core they're building there?
I have thought about that, and that would be, super, that would be super sick, to play with, 2 great players like that in a great organization and a great team, and then being, the hometown kid.
Thanks. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Great, thank you. And with our final question for today, let's go to Kai Carlin.
I already asked mine. I didn't have my hand up.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Okay, we have time for one more. Let's go to Alan Gilio. Our final question for today.
Thanks. Yeah, RJ, you talked about being compared to Zach LaVine. Who do you model your game after in the NBA today?
I would say in the NBA today, Zach LaVine would be one of them. Jamal Murray. I think those are the 2 guards, I watch the most. Zach LaVine being, a superb athlete and, and a prolific scorer. And then, Jamal Murray just kind of being able to, just do everything I can see now. So definitely those 2 people.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you, RJ. We appreciate you taking the time today. And good luck. Good luck throughout the rest of this process. And
Thank you.
No problem. And to all the media, thank you for joining this afternoon and enjoy the rest of your day.